everybody, this is Matthew Morgan coming back to make another video explaining the reasons for the deaconesses and the trustees. Now, a lot of that deacon trustee stuff comes from Masonic times. For example, it's mostly slavery. The deaconess is the ones who are white. That's supposed to be a symbol of purity. And that also happened back in slavery when the church was in existence. The slave master had the black women and men working in the church, but had the black women wearing white to symbolize purity, meaning you're not pure unless you're white. Also, they had them wearing the white gloves, which is a Masonic thing that also represents purity. And they always had them wearing it on the right hand because the right hand represents power and purity. They always had them holding one hand behind their back because when they went to go collect the money, the slave masters and the white people that attended the church did not trust the niggers or the nigger slaves to hold money because they thought if the niggers touched the money, it would be, worthless, and they would, what's the word? Contaminated. There we go. So they wanted the black slaves to wear white gloves so they wouldn't touch the money with their nigger hands and contaminate it. And also, it's Masonic for you to wear white and black in church because it's a duality, meaning good, bad, right, wrong, woman, man, God, Satan, gay, straight, up, down, left, right, heaven, hell, all that. So just know when they wear that, that has a meaning to it. Oh yeah, and just so you know, the altar in the church is technically a Masonic thing and a satanic, and the altar in the church represents the way blood sacrifices to God or Satan are made. For example, you put a baby on the altar and you let it bleed out. The blood represents sacrifice of a human life and the spirit of a human life or an animal life being sacrificed. The blood that runs down just represents the life being drained out of it, or the baby or the animal. And they used to do Masonic rituals and satanic rituals at the altar to summon demons and satanic entities and spirits and all that to come inside of people and make them do crazy stuff. And just want to repeat it again. Speaking in tongues has nothing to do with the Holy Ghost. That has nothing to do with that. Speaking in tongues has to do with the Tower of Babylon, or as the word would say, Babylon. Or, just put it this way, man wanted to see where heaven was and know what heaven was and try to get to heaven and possibly try to sneak past the gate so they don't have to face judgment. God saw what was going on. He turned into a bolt of lightning, came down to earth and struck the Tower of Babylon, which caused everyone's languages to be changed so one person couldn't understand another. Hence the term Babel on there, all that stuff. You have to be able to translate the languages. It's a spiritual tongue. So all that stuff they do in church, all that's not speaking in tongues. It's just speaking stupidly. Just so you know that. So if you ever hear a foreign person speak to you in a different language you don't understand, that's what speaking in tongues mean. That's the true meaning of it. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah. And just so I could put it out there, the whole great falling away of the church does not mean that Jesus is testing your ability to stay in church to the end. The great falling away of the church means Jesus is trying to teach people the truth about him that the church is trying to block out So he's trying to take people out the church and teach you in the world, but the pastors keep telling